Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Aggression is a key part of masculinity. Aggression. See, understand something on a primal level. Masculinity is about being active. It's about being assertive, aggressive, protective, going forward. Meanwhile, femininity is more passive, it's receptive. It's like, think about the image of the atom. You have the dot in the middle and then the other dot moving in circles around it. That's masculinity right there. And a key part of that is the aggression, being aggressive. Now understand what being aggressive means. It doesn't mean you're a bully or attacking people or something, unless it's absolutely necessary. And really, it really shouldn't be. Aggressive means you're going to take the initiative. Aggressive means you're not going to sit around. Aggressive means you're going to do something. And I don't criticize other content creators directly, but I will criticize overall themes. And I've said several times before, and I stand by it. I'm not the type who wants to sit around and just discuss a problem. I'm not. If I am in a situation, I'm discussing a problem, okay, we outline the problem, then it's the solution. And then being aggressive about implementing that solution. That is a very key thing in masculinity. Men do stuff. If there's a problem, men do stuff. Men don't sit around. Men don't sit around waiting for someone else to do it. A man does something and will join with other men doing the similar thing. Aggression, doing something about the situation. And it's not always about doing something about what other people are doing. And I'm gonna get into fighting and stuff in a bit, but aggression means, as I said, you do something about something. And that aggression could be directed towards yourself. Now, you know what, it's funny. I'm known for doing the self-improvement summits with C Boogie and, but I've seen some people go against that. Some men go against that and say, oh, that's useless, or try to go against it. To me, they ain't in their full masculinity. Yeah, I said it. I will look you in the eye and say it. You know why? Because it's aggressive to improve yourself, to do something about the situation. You can be aggressive about hitting the gym. You can be aggressive about educating yourself, getting some type of certification, some skill level in order to make money. You can be aggressive in making money, making the moves you got to make. That's aggression. You have to go for it. The money ain't gonna just come to you. You have to be aggressive in it. You have to be aggressive in hitting the gym, throwing up those weights, or if you don't want to do that, doing the calisthenics, doing the cardio. You have to be aggressive in approaching your diet, if that's what you need to do. And if we're going to talk about dealing with women, whether you that type who believe in cold approach or choosing signals, either way, you gotta have some level of aggression. Even when the woman approaches you, you still have to be aggressive and still talking to her. It's not about being passive. And let me be clear on it. It is not necessarily a bad thing. Now, I mentioned fighting. Now, this don't mean go out and pick with people or something. That's a bully. But you can be aggressive in defending yourself. You're not gonna sit back and like somebody messing with you and you just sitting back taking it. You can be aggressive in your response. Even if you choose not to respond sometime, that's still aggression, because you're aggressively saying, you know what, this ain't worth it, you thought about it. But if you have to physically defend yourself or verbally defend yourself, you can do it easily. That's the key. It's a key part of it. But see, one of the things in this overall culture, that aggression isn't brought out in a proper way. It's interesting that in this modern machine culture, there's such a problem with masculinity. With people, you have males, biological males in their 40s, 50s, even 60s, still acting like little boys. And, I refer to this as the machine culture. In my subculture, we refer to this as the machine culture. Everything's about machines and numbers and all of that, measurements. But in indigenous cultures, that doesn't have the same, didn't have the same technology. It was very key for a young boy to go through a rites of passage. It was very key for that to happen. The reason why he would be taught how to channel his aggression in a proper way. He would learn the way of a warrior. See, the way of the warrior is very important because you learn when to fight, when to stand, even when to retreat. But all of that is still aggression because you're taking action. During one of the self-improvement summits that I mentioned, I talked about that at a basic level. Masculinity is about being active, actively doing something. If we're going to talk about self-improvement in general, that's you actively doing something. That's aggression. That's aggression. A lot of people congratulate me on this place I'm living. I had to aggressively go for it. I had to aggressively do the stuff to even be able to come into this place. Everything, every movement is aggressive. And since a lot of guys want to know how it affects women, it's a primal thing. It's a primal thing because the woman's nature is to be passive. Yeah, I know we got these Amazon women out here and everything, got that mindset, but I've met a whole lot of them. If you're aggressive and you're truly in your masculinity around them, they respond. They chill out. A lot of them want to chill out. But like I said, in this culture, it's not the same thing. A man's aggression isn't promoted as much. And I'm just going to say it. There is an assault against masculinity. But here's the thing. People think it's from the women. Yeah, they're the foot soldiers, but it's from other men who don't want these men to stand up. Now, as a man, if you stand up, you know what? It's not even about trying to change society or something. It's about living the life you want to live. As a man, you got to be aggressive in going for what you want. Whether it's women, that job, that promotion, that business, hitting the gym, shoot, whatever you want to do, traveling, you have to be aggressive. You have to be. It's nothing's going to hand itself to you. Nothing. Even some of those, even in talking about relationships, even some of those men who women will approach them, they still got to bring out the aggression. Because then, okay, she approached, now the ball's in your court, what you going to do about it? And that's the key thing. Now, a lot of guys will always say, well, what can I do? What can I do? Work on taking the initiative. Say, sometimes it could be as simple as opening your mouth and say, no, this is what I want. Not waiting for someone. Not waiting for someone to hand it to you. Going out and getting it. If you need a job, I've told the story before, I had my business, but any entrepreneur knows you still might have to work or something. And there was a time, the business making a little bit of money from it, but not enough to take care of my bills, take care of the rent where I was with my family. So I ain't wait for some job to come knocking on the door. I got on the pavement, aggressively started out the day looking for one, walked home with two. Because I was aggressive. One of them wasn't even looking for any workers. They were just, it was at one of the gyms I worked at, and the owner was just impressed. I just walked in there and asked him if he had anything available. He was impressed. He had me in there 2 days later. That is the thing. That's how you have to be. If you want to, as a man, if you want a life, you got to be aggressive about creating it. Nobody's going to hand it to you. The nature of man is to conquer. You have to go conquer your life. No ifs, ands, and buts. All right? So, and you know what? I know somebody always say, well, how do I do that? I'm deleting the comment if you do that. I just told you. Seriously. I mean, if you at a point you don't know how to be active about something, well, why don't you, look, if you want something, speak up, okay? Ain't no excuses. More and more going forward, don't have time for weakness. Yeah, I'm gonna say it, weakness. Everything going on in society, we see all the stuff happening in society. We need men to stand up. And you're either gonna do it or you're not gonna do it. If you're not gonna do it, this ain't the channel for you. Seriously. This is not the channel for you. So I want y'all to stand up. I want you, hey, it's all right. I don't care what any politician or feminist or some dude talking about, it'd be a man talking about toxic masculinity. Yeah, okay. No, just be a man out here. Stand up, be aggressive. Like I said, it's not about bullying or anything like that. In fact, the bullies, they ain't truly masculine. The bullies are not truly, they faking like it, because as soon as you get in their face, they don't have anything they can do. They back down easily. A true man's not gonna back down. Whether he's right or wrong, he's gonna stand on his principles. And he's gonna be aggressive about pursuing it. So, that's all I have for today. Hey, I always usually say peace and blessings. All I'm gonna do is say be aggressive. Stand up.